It's consistent in laying down tens of thousands of bricks in a certain pattern, in a certain way, and having a commitment to the long-term objective that requires repetition. You know what repetition looks like. People know repetition when it comes to sex. You know repetition when it comes to turning on the TV or scrolling through the internet. You know repetition when it comes to a lot of things. We all have things. We know what repetition looks like when it comes to showing up for work for the white man. You count up the number of days you spent at work every day. I mean, think about this. You do 5 days a week, 50 weeks a year. That's what, how many 50 times five? That's 250 days a year. So 20, is that 2,500 days in a decade? So you do 10,000 straight days of consistently, repetitively showing up at that job every single day. So you know what repetition looks like. I just want you to be conscious and think about what repetition looks like when it all pours into your bucket and not somebody else's. I want you to know what repetition looks like when it creates a long-term benefit instead of a long-term cost. I want you to understand that when you talk about things like addiction, addiction is not always a bad term. Addiction to me my wife is an expert on addiction, so I want to be careful when I phrase this, but I always saw addiction as an extreme version of habit formation. Right? And really sometimes we don't know the difference. Are you addicted or do you just love to do that? Or is it a strong habit? Who knows exactly? I'm sure there's a technical definition for that. I can ask her. But my point is to say that addiction doesn't just mean you're addicted to drugs. Addiction can also mean that you're addicted to learning. Addiction doesn't always, it has a negative connotation, sure. So we can call it habit formation. It doesn't just mean that you got to have a drink every morning. It also might mean you need to read a book every week. Hey, addiction doesn't just mean that you got to eat the fried chicken every time you see a Popeyes. Addiction can also mean that you really, really, really love running marathons, or you really love putting money in your stock portfolio. I'm gonna tell you, I'm addicted. One of my financial, I don't call it an addiction because I don't know. My wife is she would probably be like, now, boys, there's a clinical definition of it. Okay, yes, ma'am. But here's what I'm gonna tell you. I think I'm addicted. I don't tell her, but I think I'm addicted to like spending money. I really do. I do it just you get money and it just burns a hole in your pocket and you feel like the money needs to have a purpose. So you're like in the mall, you're like, why is this money still here? Like you need to be doing something and to make my life better. So here's the thing. Um, Instead of shopping at the mall and fulfilling my appetite or getting that hit or whatever it is that that fix of spending money at the mall, now I just go shopping in the stock market. I love buying stock. And the difference between spending money at the mall versus spending money in the market is that what I buy in the market is coming right back to me. You know, like when I'm buying extra shares of Google, that's me gaining more ownership in Google. And what I found was it was really fascinating because self-knowledge is everything in this process. I found that I enjoy buying stock as much as I enjoy buying sneakers. I was like, huh, look at that. I'll be damn. Okay, so let me just roll with it then. And so literally, I'll hop in there and I'll just be like, okay, I got some extra money. It's burning a hole in my pocket. Let's go shopping in the stock market, right? And it's fun. Some of you, as anybody, Agnes says she's got that. Anybody else getting that? Where you just getting the habit. It's habit formation, right? And the beauty of it is now you've got a habit that's like good for you. And I'll tell you some other things I'm addicted to. I want to, maybe you could be a fiend like me if you're not scared to admit to that. I am addicted to getting up at early in the morning and going running.